What is up, you mad dogs? This is my full card recap video for UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopes. And what can I say? That was one of the best days of my life. I swear to God. We were there at the event. We've just got back from Sydney today. And holy fuck. I've been looking forward to make this video just so I can go back and relive the moment. I'm still riding the high, slowly coming down from it. But honest to God, spectacular card in my opinion. I don't know if it was just because I was there, but I feel like that was a pretty fucking awesome card. Solid 8 out of 10 at least. I mean, it would have been crazy if Bam Bam managed to get that knockout in the third, but is what it is. Amazing card all around. The fighters showed up, gave us a great night of fights. We got some awesome finishes and some awesome performances. And man, I've never been so happy to be wrong about a main event pick. I feel a little bit silly for not going with Volk like I did in the last one, but I had a hunch and I was wrong. It's alright. It happens, okay? With that being said, we'll jump right into the card, go through the fights, bottom to top. I won't spend too much time on the earlier fights, just like in the prediction video. But, oh man, I cannot get over how fucking awesome yesterday was. And I cannot wait to do it again. First fight of the night. This was a pretty fucking fun fight to start the night with. Lawrence Louis versus Sulan Grangbo. I went with Lawrence Louis by decision here. He gets a decision based off of the last 2 rounds, in my opinion. Sulan had a good first round. Louis got some good grappling going in the first round, but I think Sulan did a bit more damage. So Louis picks up the 29-28 decision, using a lot of grappling and just outworking him, forward pressure. Good fight, great fight to start the night. Much enjoyed, and we got the pick right on that one. Next fight of the night, I went with Kiichiro Nakamura. My pick wasn't looking so good for 2 rounds. I figured that this would be a close fight. I was tossing and turning on this fight for quite a bit. I really wanted to pick the Aussie, but someone was telling me that this Japanese dude was going to pull through, and that's what he did. Cezalay, he won the first 2 rounds quite convincingly, in my opinion. Just not really letting Nakamura do a whole lot. I think he even dropped him at one point in the first or the second round. I can't remember which one it was. I haven't had a chance to properly watch these fights back, but I'm going to do that tonight later on. Just re-enjoy it all. But yeah, in the third round, Nakamura started getting his reads. Started throwing up the knees. The knees were getting closer. And eventually one landed. Massive knee. Puts Cezalay out late in the third round. Follows up with the ground and pound. And the fight was called. Round 3 knockout by Nakamura. I think I called a decision in this one, but he gets the knockout. It was a pretty good win. I feel like Cezalay is pretty durable, so it was a decent win. But he was losing the first 2 rounds, so I don't know how far he's going to go in the UFC. Anyways, we got the pick right, so I'm happy about that, even though an Aussie lost. Next fight of the night, looking at Don Ma Pham versus Sang Wook Kim. I actually got on the broadcast with this fight. I was sitting next to 2 Korean dudes that had a little flag and they were cheering on. And yeah, one of the camera guys came up and they were viewing them, and I just happened to be sitting next to him, and he said, yeah, get up and cheer with him. So managed to get on the fucking broadcast, which is pretty funny. But yeah, about the fight, Don Ma Pham put on a great performance here. Won by decision. I picked him to win by decision. Some awesome scrambles in this fight. He outstruck him. And yeah, basically that's the story of the fight for 3 rounds. It was close here and there, but Pham just did well to do more, outstrike and outgrapple Sang Wook Kim for the most part. And it was a pretty exciting fight. So that was the end of the road to UFC finals. And that would bring us to one of the worst robberies I've seen in my time. Even everyone in the crowd was on the same page. I mean, people were cheering the fact that the Aussie won, obviously. But I don't think anyone thought that this fight was going to go the way of Khan Offley by the time the judges' scorecards came around. Izar pretty much outstruck him for the most part. In round 2, he dropped him like 2 or 3 times. It wasn't looking good for Khan Offley whatsoever. You could probably give Offley the first round. I feel like Izar really took over the fight after that point. It was a close first round, but this decision was fucking shocking. This was worse. This was worse than Paddy versus Gordon fucking, I was about to say Gordon Ryan. Jared Gordon. Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Gordon. This is worse than that. I reckon this is worse than Carlos Leal versus Renat Fakhrinadinov, or whatever his name is. Shit fucking decision by the judges here. And that's saying something coming from an Aussie, given the fact that the Aussie was gifted the decision. Yeah, I just don't see a world where Khan Offley won this fight, and I thought that was pretty ridiculous. And I'm sure everyone's on the same page that I am. I know I've seen a lot of comments and stuff saying that Izar got robbed. I did pick Izar to win this fight by decision, and he should have, but judges chose otherwise. Is what it is. Is what it is. It was my first wrong pick of the card. Ah well. Hopefully they can do something to, compensate Izar for this, because honestly, that was shocking. Next fight of the night, anyways. This was a very fun one. I was looking forward to this one. There was a bit of heat in the build-up to this fight. Jonathan Mikhachev versus Oban Elliott. I went with Mikhachev to win this fight. I think I said a decision. I did say that he could mix in the grappling here, and that's eventually what he did. He wins the fight by submission in the second round. I didn't think he was going to be able to pull off the submission, but he kind of needed it. I feel like he was getting outworked quite heavily in the first round. He just wasn't able to get going with his kicks or anything like that. He was landing a couple things here and there. He did drop Elliott at one point, but I feel like it was more of an off-balance drop. But I will need to watch it back and just, see it again to really come to a decision on that. But it doesn't matter, because in the second round, the fight goes on. Oban Elliott was doing good work. And yeah, I think he ran into like the elbow or something of Mikhachev and started backing up, playing with his eye. And then Mikhachev just engaged the grappling straight away and big broed him. Just out-muscled him, out-physicality him. Took him to the ground. Got him in a bad position. Subbed him out. Rear naked choke. Fucking good performance. Good performance from Jono Mikhachev here. And I'm looking forward to see what's next for him. And I was happy that I got the pick right on this one. And that'll bring us to our next fight. Oh my god, I'm fucking retarded for picking Torres Finney, man. I don't know why I swapped my pick. So initially, I picked Torres Finney to win this fight, officially. That was my pick. I said he'd do it by decision. Before I made my prediction video, I was set on Jacob Malkoun. I thought he would win the fight. I just didn't think Finney would have anything more than grappling to offer him. And with Malkoun having good grappling himself, initially I thought, Finney wouldn't have shit for him. But for some reason, I was saying, oh, nah. In my head, Finney's fucking just gonna bulldoze him, wet blanket him, fucking smudge it out. But Malkoun, too fucking good. Really just put a fucking work on Finney him. Dog walked him. Just watch, I don't mean like that. I just realized I might have to cut that out of the video. I don't mean like that, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and just take that one back. Jacob Malkoun just dog walked Finney for the most part. There was a couple of moments there where I thought he was going to get the finish. I'm surprised he didn't. The first 2 rounds were very convincing. I feel like all 3 rounds are very convincing. It looked like Finney hurt himself at one point, but he wasn't limping around until as soon as the fight finished, which was a little bit weird. It was kind of like I was injured. That's why I've lost, you know? But he just got outworked. Malkoon was too good, and Finney is fucking shit. Yeah, he's pretty shit. Go ahead. I know he'd fuck me up. Go ahead and say it in the comments. I don't care. I think Torres Finney's fucking shit. As far as UFC fighters go, that's my opinion, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of people on the same page as me here. I'm surprised Malkoon didn't get the finish. I feel like he could have done a lot more in the third round. He kind of just stalled it out, especially with the new finish bonus, the 25k. I'm surprised he didn't push for it, but here's what it is. He got the win. I was wrong on this one, but anyways. Next fight of the night, Cam Rouston versus Cody Brundage. This was a fun fight. And I was a little bit worried there at moments for Rouston. Brundage was throwing some heat. He's a bit of a brawler and he can be pretty tough to put out at times. But the range of Rouston, just too much for him. He was able to get the better shots off, landing the lengthy shots, big straights, all that. Eventually puts him down in the second round. I think he landed a big knee at one point, and it I've got to watch this fight back. Like I said, I haven't watched them all back yet, so it's a little bit phasey in the memory right now, especially a day later. But I'm very excited to watch these back and just see exactly what happened bit by bit on the screen. A little bit easier to see. I had some pretty good seats, so I did have a good view, but a little bit easier to see on the screen, as you would all know, anyone who's been to an event. But yeah, Cam Rouston, I think I took him to win by submission here. I did say that a knockout was a high percentage, but I like the idea of a submission with, Brundage. He can be hard to put out cold at times. He does get rocked a lot, but he's pretty tough. He is a pretty tough fighter, and he's not that bad. He's a brawler, man. He's a brawler, so respect to him. He's a fucking warrior, but not enough. Not enough to hold up with the best in the UFC. Not enough to hold up with most in the UFC, let's just say. Cam Rouston wins this fight by second round TKO with the ground and pound strikes after putting him down. And yeah, that's the story of that fight. Had a pretty good, pretty funny call out on the mic afterwards. A little bit, it was pretty funny. I like that. So yeah, looking forward to see what they do for him next. And yeah. Next fight of the night. This one was just written on the wall, wasn't it? It was written on the wall right in front of us. I took Billy Elikana to win this fight by submission in the second round. Billy Elikana wins this fight by submission in the second round. Now, round one wasn't looking too good for him. At the weigh-ins, I was thinking, Tafa looks alright. Tafa looks pretty fit right now. I know he looked a lot better in his last fight too, fitness-wise I'm talking. But I was getting a little bit worried coming into the fight with this pick. And hey, I wouldn't have been mad if Tafa won. Like I said in the prediction video, I was going for all the Aussies no matter what, no matter who I picked. So, first round, Tafa drops him early. I'm thinking, oh, fuck, it's done here. It's done here. He's going to keep putting it on him. But eventually, Billy Elikana was able to get his striking going, stay a little bit more composed. He was very skittish at the start of the fight. I feel like maybe he was obviously knowing of the power coming towards him with just Junior's striking. He was putting out some good combos. He was putting out some good striking, and he's always got big power in his hands. I feel like he rocks everyone in almost every one of his fights. So, yeah, dropped Elikana early. But once Elikana started to get going, started to get his reads, eventually started working in the wrestling. And as we all know, that's where Tafa has the holes in his game. And it's unfortunate to see that he was submitted yet again in the second round. Even though I got my pick right, method and round, it was a little bit sad to see Tafa go down once again to the same thing. But hey, it was a pretty fun fight. Pretty fun fight. We got to see Tafa drop him. And yeah, that brings us to the main card. Quillen Salkill, baby. Quillen fucking Salkill. Now, I think like a lot of people, I took Quillen Salkill to win this fight by knockout in the first round. He wins this fight by submission in the first round. I got Cam Ralston and Quillen Salkill mixed up, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I didn't really, but I got their picks mixed up, obviously. Salkill, impressive performance. Once again, I think this one was written on the wall. I feel like a round one stoppage was always going to happen in this fight, no matter knockout, submission. We know Salkill's got the grappling, so the submission threat was always going to be there. And yeah, got it done. Showed some impressive grappling yet again in this fight. Got a good throw on Malaki at one point, and that eventually put him into the position where he very quickly locked up that rear naked and secured the deal. Round one submission to Quillen Salkill. 4-0 in the UFC. Man, I cannot wait to see where this kid goes. He is fucking awesome. Good fun. Good character too. You know, plays it up. I love his little post-fight celebrations. I love the cigar one where he's lighting up the cigar, lighting up the doobie. You know, I love it. And I cannot wait to see where he goes from here. Hopefully they give him a bit more of a test. Maybe someone in the rankings. Maybe he can step in for that Moicano fight. That'd be pretty cool to see. I've seen something about Tom Nolan stepping in for that, but I don't think that's legit. But yeah, Salkill to be killed, right? Let's fucking know. Fuck. Alright, so this fight was fucking sick to watch in the arena. Specifically round 3, okay? The crowd was insane. The crowd was fucking insane for this fight. Especially in the third round where Tuivasa started to land on him. Man, I can imagine this would have been a shit watch for the first 2 rounds at home. It was a little bit of a tough watch, but it was very fucking exciting to watch from in the crowd. Hearing all the Aussies get behind Tuivasa. He was close. He was fucking close. He almost got it done. But he just didn't have the cardio to put together the combinations in the third round. Every time he would unload a little flurry, he would either jump on the clinch and just hold, or Taliesin would shoot a takedown and Ty would defend it, and they would just hold for like a minute each time. So it just ate away at the time on the rounds, and the time wore thin. They were both fucked by the time the third round came around. Jesus Christ, they were both fucked. And there's a funny image out there of both of them standing there with their hands on hips. It's I'm not going to say anything about it. It was very enjoyable to watch from in the crowd. I wish he got it done. That would have been insane. I think the fucking roof of Kudos Bank Arena would have disappeared. I feel like there would have been too much pressure in the crowd. It would have blown the fuck off. But here's what it is. Taliesin Teixeira gets it done. I did pick Taliesin Teixeira to win here. I thought he'd do it by knockout. I did not see this fight go in the distance, like many people. But they blobbed their way there. And Taliesin wins a 29-28 based off of the first 2 rounds. Mostly his grappling. I feel like he's fucked as he goes up the fucking rankings. You know, I feel like he's not as good of a prospect as we once thought. Being such a tall fucking fighter, you know, in the heavyweight division, you'd think, oh, maybe he's going to do something big here, but I just don't see it with the way his last 2 fights have... What is going on with me tonight? The way his last 2 fights have panned out, getting knocked out by Derek Lewis and then having a close one with Bam Bam, I just don't see him going too far in the heavyweight division. I feel like as soon as he meets a big power puncher, he's just going to get knocked out every time. Yeah, is what it is. Fun. Almost got to watch Bam Bam come back. And that brings us to our next fight. Mauricio Rufy gets it done over Rafael Fiziev. I went with Mauricio Rufy. I said he would get it done by knockout in the second round. He gets it done by knockout in the second round. I figured that Fiziev would be winning the fight. I feel like the first round was pretty close. I feel like you could score it either way. Rufy really started to get going at the end of that first, landing the more damaging shots, and Fiziev had more damage on him by the end of the first. Yeah. Fucking spectacular performance. I called that Rufy would be able to either land that straight right down the pipe or an uppercut to drop him and have that lead to the finishing sequence. And what do you know? Straight right down the pipe, clean as days. I did say in the prediction video that he turns over that shoulder on the straights so well just to generate that power. Such a precision and technical strike. The way he throws it, it's fucking amazing. I've seen him do it in multiple fights. It's just the power that he can get out of those shots it's something else. Reminds us a lot of the, Conor McGregor of old. And yeah, gets it done. First person to finish Rafael Fiziev, which is pretty awesome. That's a pretty big thing to do. Fiziev's been up in the lightweight division for a bit of time now. So, impressive win. Very impressive. He bounces back from his loss to BSD. Get to BSD in a second. And yeah, very fucking well done to Mauricio Rufy. I'm looking forward to see who they give him next. Hopefully they give him another striker and we can see someone else get starched. Never know. I'm looking forward to see what's next for him. And for Fiziev, maybe a drop down to featherweight. Maybe if that would work for him, maybe that could work a lot better than in the lightweight. I just feel like he's too small and he just doesn't, like I said in the prediction video, he just doesn't generate enough power to, be knocking these guys out. Like, I know he got, I think, the knockout over the RDA, I'm pretty sure, but that was kind of an early stoppage. I don't know, that was the Renato Moicano fight. I feel like he finished RDA too, but those guys are both pretty old. Whereas I just don't see him having that kind of success with any of the newer guys or any of the really high up guys in the lightweight division. Maybe a drop down to featherweight could be good for him. We never know. That brings us to our co-main event of the evening. Dan Hooker. Dan fucking Hooker. Good first round. Good first round for Dan Hooker. I thought he won the first round watching it live. I'm keen to go watch this one back and just see it for what it is on a screen. Man. BSD. I took BSD to win this fight by submission in the second round. He wins the fight by knockout in the second round, late in the second. Yeah. Dan Hooker. It sucks to see. It sucks to see. I love this dude. He's a family man. How can you not love Dan Hooker? The fucking entertainment this dude brings. How can you not love Dan Hooker, right? Hopefully he can get a matchup next time out where he's not going to face someone that just wants to pressure grapple him. The pressure in this fight from BSD was just too much. It eventually got to him. And I mean, I don't know if that's what, like, Dan Hooker shot for a takedown of his own in the second, which led to him getting reversed. And BSD ended up in full mount with the arm trapped. And that was the end of the fight, basically, from there. BSD did lock up a head and arm triangle, but couldn't quite get it, couldn't quite get it. He was in it for like a good minute or so. I thought that was done there. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here's my pick. Round 2 submission. Thought it was done, but nah, Dan Hooker managed to survive that. But BSD kept the position, kept the top mount, just started raining down elbows, had Dan Hooker's arm trapped still, landing those massive elbows. I feel like it could have been stopped a little bit earlier, but I also feel like Herb Dean was giving Hooker the chance that he deserves, given the type of fighter that he is, given we know how tough he is. But it was tough to see him take that damage late in the second. He took probably, I don't know how many. He took a lot of fucking strikes at the end of that round, right to the head. A lot of big elbows, massive ground and pound. It was a little bit tough to watch, but BSD proves to be decent once again. And I say decent, and I mean decent. He's not the best. He's not the best. I feel like he's still going to get slimed out by those people in the very top of the division, you know? I feel like he's a big problem for a lot of people on the come up and for a lot of people in the division in general. But I feel like that top rank are really going to expose the holes in his game. He is a little bit slow. I feel like Hooker was doing really well with the body shots in the first round. Those body teeps that he has, they seem to really be taken out of BSD here. But yeah, BSD gets it done. Knockout. Second round. TKO. Good performance. Good performance and a very good fight. Very fun fight to watch. I thought it could have got fight of the night, but main event did. Which we will go to the main event. Firstly, I picked Diego Lopes. I thought he was going to get the finish here over Volkanovski. I was having nightmares, boys. I knew I was going to the event. I was having nightmares. I was thinking, oh, it's only my luck. I'm going to go to a UFC event. I'm going to see the greatest Australian fighter get fucking knocked out. I was wrong, and I've never been fucking happier to be wrong, boys. Alexander the Great Volkanovski does it again. Featherweight GOAT, no fucking questions about it. Argue with me if you want, but I don't think anyone's going to do it. Volkanovski is the fucking GOAT of the featherweight division. I don't care what anyone says. 50-45 was a bit absurd though, right? 50-45 was a bit absurd. Look, this was pretty much the same fight as last year with a few adjustments involved. Yeah, I feel like Diego, he initiated a bit more grappling than last time. He did get a couple of takedowns of his own. I believe, yes. 2 of his own, so they got 2 takedowns each. I thought Volk was going to mix in more wrestling, but he just couldn't seem to get a hold of Lopes. He did say that he felt a lot stronger this time around. And Volk did say that he didn't want to stand with him for 25 minutes, and that's pretty much what happened. There was a little bit at the end of the 5th there, obviously, and throughout the fight where there was a little bit of grappling going on. Volk jumped a ghillie at one point. That was fucking exciting. Crowd was going nuts. I don't think it was ever really in, but I was going nuts. Even though I knew it wasn't really in. But you never know. You never know with those situations, so you got to be going crazy. I would have loved to see a Volkanovski knockout here, but Lopez's chin is fucking tough, dude. I personally, watching it live there in the event, I think going into the 5th, I feel like I did have it 2-2 going into the 5th. I could see a world where I feel like Diego got the 3rd round, no doubt, with the knockdown, because it was a very, very close round. Both fighters landed well. Let's go see the stats on round 3. So 21 for 17. The knockdown wasn't counted. Wow, okay. That was definitely a knockdown though, right? It wasn't in round 2 or 4. No, it was round 3. It was round 3 for sure. Wow, I'm surprised that knockdown wasn't counted. That was definitely a knockdown. I've seen the replay of it. He spun Volk's chin a little bit there, and Volk reminded me of Kind of like in the Volk Makachev fight where Makachev just kind of dropped him. He dropped to his knee for a second. Kind of reminded me a little bit of that. He's straight back up, straight back into it. His recovery is fucking amazing. But yeah, I gave Lopes round 3. I probably maybe could have given him round 2. When I was watching it live, I was like, nah, 3-1 Volk. We got it, baby. You just got to win this round. But I don't know if that was a bit of bias or what. But I can see a world where you could score round 2 to Lopes with the grappling there. He did get the only takedown in that round. What do we got? 19, 16 significant strikes, 20 to 19. I mean, I suppose they gave Volk the sub... Wait. The sub attempts were in the same round, weren't they? Wasn't Lopes on his back at the end of round 2? I swear that was round 2. Okay, so they gave Volk the sub attempt, but not Lopes the sub attempt. The judges did fuck up that earlier fight in the night. But they didn't fuck this one up. Volk won, no matter what. Volk definitely won. But I feel like it was closer than 50-45, right? I feel like you could score at a 49-46, and I feel like you could score at a 48-47. 3-2 to Volk. Either way, Volkanovski proves great once again. Alexander the Great. And fucking still, baby. And still. How happy I was to see that walkout. Everything. Oh my god. The crowd was so fucking loud. It was so fucking cool. Like I said, honest to God, best day of my fucking life. I cannot wait to go to another UFC event after that. It was just, honestly, a spectacular day. If you ever get the chance to go to a UFC event, fucking do it, boys. Do it. If you love this shit, make it happen, alright? Make it happen. You will not regret it. You will not regret it whatsoever. That was a fucking awesome day. Awesome card. Just hope that you get a good card if you are going. Just hope that you get a good card. I mean, it's going to be good either way. But it is cool when you get a bunch of finishes. Especially when you get a bunch of finishes from the boys at home, you know? It's fucking cool to watch. I just cannot get over how much of a fucking awesome day that was. I cannot get over how great Alexander Volkanovski is. And I'm so glad I was wrong on that main event pick. And yeah. That brings us to the end of the video. I guess I should probably plug my fucking Instagram and Twitter here. I've been posting a little bit on the Instagram. I haven't posted shit on the Twitter yet, but I'm going to get to that. I'm working on building up this shit, okay? I'm still new to this, so we're working on it. But Instagram, Catch and Z's MMA. I think my Twitter's just Catching... Oh, no. Hang on. My Twitter's Catch and Z's MMA as well. Go give them a follow if you like. If you got to the point of this point of the video, thanks so much for watching, boys. I appreciate it very much. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Next one's going to be my prediction videos for the fight night this week, which is not half the card that we had this weekend. But look, we just got 2 numbered events in a row. We cannot complain, okay? UFC's back in fucking full swing, and we're rolling. I'll see you boys in the next one and the prediction video for this weekend. Thanks so much. Goodbye.